Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to do another CSR tip. This is going to be CSR tip number 7. Technically, it's going to be lucky number 7. And it's going to be in advanced operations. I won't be doing a whole bunch of the advanced operations, but this one is to show you the navigation on the main page because there's a lot to this game. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to synchronize this in 3, 2, 1. Now you can see my screen. So you can see I've got a Lexus LFA. Don't let the fancy cars get in your way. Okay? Don't let the fancy cars get in your way. But if you can take a look here, and I'm going to do a quick little screenshot. There we go. And we're going to talk about the 20 different parts of the game. Part number 1, I'm going to use I think this yellow is fine. Is it big enough? Yeah, it is big enough. So number 1 is going to be this little box over here. That little box is always going to be the inbox, okay? And number 2 is always going to be the gas. Now, number 3 is actually this little box here. That box is really important. I'm going to zoom in real quick because this tells you what manufacturer you're using. It also tells you the car level that you're using. In this case, it's a T5. And it tells you the car rank. The higher the number, the more powerful that car should be. But it also has this extra additional number here, this EVO number. So this EVO number is the fusion parts or other things you've added onto the car. Gets a little complex, but these numbers can be fudged back and forth, moved over by taking parts on and off to make the car somewhat faster, somewhat lighter, somewhat robust. And in some situations, you have to manipulate those parts because in restriction races, you need to have a car with a specific level. And sometimes they have you take parts off of your car. The other thing is the stars is also in section 3. These stars reflect whether you can use in-game cash or if you have to use real currency like US dollars to purchase things for that particular car. That's another situation. We'll talk about that later. Number 4 or section 4. Did I hit the eraser? Yes, I did. Section 4 is actually going to be the group rank. In other words, if you belong to a crew, what your crew level is. Also, how much RP you are earning right now or have earned. And also your particular rank in the game. Because you are ranked against other people, and the number starts at 1 and goes all the way up to, I don't know, infinity. Who knows? But right now I'm ranked number 366, which is not that bad for a person who's been playing for a while. But it could have been better if I had played much better and if somebody had made a video like this here. The next thing is going to be the currency, well, 2 of the currency types. One is going to be your actual in-game cash. Right now you see I have 1.8 million, which is really not that bad. It could be a lot better. There are other people that actually have like 20 mil and plus just sitting in the bank. Me, I am a working gamer, so I'm constantly working on different things that haven't really banked up that much. And another thing that I'm really sad about is I only have 405 gold coins. In reality, in the game, you want to always have 4,000. You always want to have 4,000 on you. So I am quickly trying to rebuild that stash of gold. The next thing, there's a big plus over here, and I'm gonna get the eraser real quick here. Erase that. That plus is how you will be able to go to the main system of how to purchase things. Like if you're a new person and you want to buy some in-game cash because you just don't feel like trying to earn it, or if you want to turn around and get some gold coins, or even just buy a car in the game, it's possible to do that by hitting that big plus button. And sometimes they give you deals, a lot of times they're bad deals, but we're not going to talk about that right now. So let's go back into the game here. And as you can see, part of the interface has disappeared. So I'm going to bring it back. And I'm going to do another screenshot. Give me 1 second here. There we go. So if you don't touch the game for a moment, a couple things can actually happen where some parts of the screen will disappear because it's assumed that you're looking at the car and not the game. Then eventually it'll go into this like almost like a screensaver mode. Did I say good? Screensaver mode. Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about on the navigation still. We're on the main page of the game here. We haven't gone out to play anything, none of that kind of stuff. Sorry, it is morning time. This is my coffee. I have my fancy cup with me today. The mermaid drinking with me. So you can clearly see that I have 72 garages right now. Oops, keep hitting it. My finger keeps hitting the wrong thing over here. I think that's what it is. I think I keep resting my finger here. Never mind. So I have 72 garages. It's really important because when you do start in the game, you will have only one garage. Eventually, you will just build up more and more and more garages. As far as I know, there is no limit on garages. Now, while we're talking about limits, I am an Apple user, but if you're an Android user, you should still be able to use all the same things that I'm talking about now. There is one caveat. This particular game is 9 gigabytes on my iPhone and on my iPad. So both of them have the game, so I can just go back and forth whichever one I feel like I'm using. And I gotta tell you, it is a memory hog. It's getting closer and closer to 10 gigabytes. That's a lot. One of the things is, I don't think I actually labeled it, but this was section 5. The next section is going to be not the necessarily the garages that I just told you about. It is important that you know where your cars are in your garage, but the next major thing, because the garage management, we'll talk about that later. It's going to be here, number 6, which is going to be legends. Legends will pop up for people who are either level 30 or 40 or something higher, because basically you're getting a car that was in a junkyard or that's badly maintained by somebody, and you're getting that car and you're going to rebuild that car to make it a totally restored car. That's what it's all about. It's about restoring a car from almost junk to perfection. And this actually feeds on the heart, literally feeds on the heart of people who really, really like cars. So you get a chance to see something that's in bad shape and basically turn it into something that is spectacular. And you can turn around and use that car to do other races in the game. Acura NSX, or maybe listed as Honda NSX in there, a Pontiac GTO, Porsche Carrera. There's a few really good cars. Lamborghinis and Ford GTs are in there. If you are a car fan, you'll recognize some of these cars. It's a great thing. We'll talk about it later. Now let's get to number 7. Number 7 is going to be the garages. Now, the garages is really important, mainly because this is where you will be going through all of your cars. So whenever you click on the garages, basically, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and do it right now for you. I'm going to click on the garages. As you can see, here are all the cars inside of garage number 71. Each garage has 6 cars. So you multiply 6 times however many garages you have, and that's the total number of cars you have. And if you want to go to the next garage, just scroll over to the next one, and scroll over to the next one, and scroll over to the next one. So that's number 7. It is really important. I'm going to hit the back button, top left-hand corner. That back button, that is part of navigation. You will have to always hit that back button to go back to where you were last time. So that was number 7. So I'm going to do another screenshot here. And as I do the screenshot, come back out. The next thing is, you can see it looks a little weird here. There's a number 2 on there, meaning there's 2 items that need to be, that have been completed or need to be addressed. I know what they are. They're wild cards. This is the crew hangout. So I'm going to put a CH there, and it's going to be number 8. But this is going to be the crew hangout. The crew hangout lets you know what is available, what has the crew actually earned. This is where you can donate to the crew so that you can help the crew get wild cards to have bonuses to basically do a particular race and get 30% more RP, 70% more RP, or even up to 150% more RP. And RP is respect points. Those respect points is how everyone is rated in the game. So I'm more than likely there'll be another video. It's just, this is so much, and I do have a lot of time, but I don't want to bog you down right now. So the next thing is race pass. Look, you're not gonna get race pass until you hit again level 30 or plus, because Race Pass is the game's way of taking resources from you to spend it to get some nice things. It was once called Jerry's Challenge. Now it's called Race Pass. And basically, it is there to eat up your resources. And the only way you're going to get those resources is if you are a person who is ranked up higher, because a lot of things are a little repetitive, like use 15 fusion parts. Well, you got to find 15 cars that need fusion parts. You may only have one car that needs a fusion part. It gets kind of complex, and we'll definitely do a deep dive in that much later. Not anytime soon. So that was number 9. I'm going to put a little 9 on the inside of that one there. I'm going to put a little red star right here where it says race. That red star, this is actually section number 10. I'm going to put a little 1 there to make it like a 10 star. That is the main map for racing. This is where all the little events all over the game are going to be. But again, we'll go into more details about that at a later point. But for now, I just want you to know that that's how you get to your races. The next one's going to be customize. Customize, I'm going to go back to yellow. Customize it's a little wacky. Very traditional cars. In other words, they're older CSR2 cars. Had a lot of customizations possibilities. You can change the paint. You can change the brake caliper color and a few other things, and even put some stickers on the car. Some of the cars have permanent freshness, meaning the car is stuck in that particular look, and the only thing that you can change is the nameplate. So you'll see a lot of people with cars that are stuck in this one particular color scheme, and they cannot do anything except for put a nameplate on there. But that is where customizations take place. The next one, and that was number 11. The next one's going to be number 12. Number 12 is tune. Now, this is not a realistic game, but it does have some minor tuning capabilities. You can tune the NOS, which is the nitrous oxide. I think it's nitrous oxide. But the NOS. You can also tune the transmission, so that the transmission will shift slow, or for a really short race, like a short race from 0 to 60, you can pull it back to have it do short shifts, as opposed to it's a car thing. You just got to understand it. But tuning can be very fun, and also you can change the pressure of your tires to make it soft or to make it stiff. Depending on what kind of race you're doing, you might want to find that perfect medium. And I'll give you a really good way. It's not a cheat. I don't like to cheat. I'll give you a really good example when we do cover the tuning part. It's all gonna be about the peace sign, and the peace sign is how I adjust my tire pressure. It's a really unique thing. And then we have upgrade. Number 13 is gonna be upgrade. Upgrading is basically putting on better stage 1 through 6 parts. Some cars, your tier 1 cars, do not have stage 6, but tier 2 and above will always have a stage 6 part. The next one is going to be rare imports. Rare imports is really important because this is where you will get, just can't make a really good box around this here. There we go. Rare imports is where you're going to get your crates, your special crates for racing. And when I say crate, it's basically a box, and that box will, when you open it up, it'll have either fusion parts, in-game cash, maybe some tokens, or sometimes even a rare event where you'll get a car. It'll be a car that really is not great. I'm just letting you know that don't get your hopes up high. Next is and that was number 14. Next, number 15 is going to be buying cars. People always ask me, what car should I buy? The game is always going to tell you what to get. 9 times out of 10, the game is always going to tell you what to get, and you pick your options. If you ask me, I will ask you, what parts do you have available? I will never tell you, buy this car. Yeah, I'm almost certain that I would almost never tell you, buy this car. It's very rare that I say this car is a need-to-have car. Then the next one is the little info button there. The info button is about getting to your fusion parts, stage 6 parts, universal parts. We're not going to really go into that one there. That was 16 right there. The next one is going to be 17. 17 is basically this panel that opens up. This is where you can communicate with the people in your crew, and also you can communicate with the global people. If you're looking for a crew, or if you want to see your own stats, your profile, it's all in there. This part here, I'm not a fan of this here. It pops up as like a little ad for the internal game parts. I'm not the biggest fan of that part of the game, but the weird thing is, it will sometimes have like a not a maintenance, but you need to do this kind of thing, and it's generally telling you that you need to go and do your daily race. Do your daily races. I know you're not going to get anything great out of it, but I'll explain later about how great it could be. I'll explain that later. So that is pretty much a trip around the world on the game. Some parts I actually did consolidate a little bit more than what I was originally going to do, but that's totally fine. Again, we'll be going into more detail about this later, but this is just a little walkthrough of what is available on the navigational tab. It's really important because if you do run across me while I'm in TikTok Live and you ask me a question, a lot of time is wasted with me trying to communicate, well, where are you? Tell me, what do you see? When if you knew the layout and if you knew the navigation of the game, you would automatically be able to say, yeah, I was in rare imports and I was looking for this here and I didn't see it. And I would be like, hey, how many stars do you have on your car? And you'll automatically know to look up and go like, oh, I have purple stars. I have 4 purple stars. Oh, you have purple stars. Well, because you have purple stars, you're not going to see what you're looking for. Why don't you switch to another manufacturer? See, that's a whole little thing that happens. You know, you give me the information, I try to help you out with it. If we're not inside of an event that's happening right here, right now. And there's usually another guy with me, Duster, and other people. Everybody's very friendly, and we generally try to help the new people that are actually trying to play the game. So I hope you enjoyed this here, and we're going to end the syncing right now. Boop. There we go. And I would like for you to continue to check out the tips. Hopefully I will cover most of the game. And one of the reasons why I do this is mainly because the game doesn't have a book. Back in the day, we used to have books on how to play games. And this is a mobile game, and it's a living game, and it doesn't have the books that we used to have. Back in the day, we used to have books like this here to show you how to play the game. And the books usually had really good tips, including maps on what to do, where things were. Look at that. That's like a whole map there. The layout of the game. And this is an old Halo book here. So yeah, that's not gonna do me any good. But just letting you know that today's gaming is very different, and this is a mobile game. Some people can play it on the PC, but this is a mobile game, and it's more difficult to play if you don't already have a sense of cars or play the previous version of this game, in my opinion. That's all I gotta say. Enjoy the day.